the Aramaic and Palestinian Targum. We're reading the book of Numbers, chapter 9. And the Lord spake with Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, in the 2nd year from the time of their going forth from the land of Mizraim, in the 1st month, saying, Let the children of Israel perform the service of the Pascha between the suns at its time. This is the Passover. Pascha is Passover. On the 14th day of this month between the suns, they shall perform it in its time. According to all the rites and all its statutes, they shall do it. And Moshe spake with the children of Israel to perform the sacrifice of the Passover. So they performed the Passover, or the Pascha, therefore on the 14th day of the month, between the suns, in the wilderness of Sinai, after all that the Lord had commanded Moshe, so the children did. But certain men who were unclean, having been defiled by the body of a man who had died near them suddenly, as the commandment of the Pascha came upon them, could not perform it on that day, which was the 7th of their uncleanliness. And they came before Moshe and Aaron on that day. And these men said to him, We are unclean on account of a man who died with us. Therefore we are hindered from killing the Pascha and shedding the blood of the Lord's oblation upon the altar at its time, that we may eat its flesh, being clean, among the children of Israel. This is one of 4 matters of judgment brought before Moshe the prophet, which he decided according to the word of the Holy One, in some of which Moshe was deliberate, because they were judgments about life, but in others Moshe was prompt, they being only judgments concerning money. But in the former Moshe said, I have not heard, that he might teach the princes of the Sanhedrin who should arise after him to be deliberate in judgments regarding life, but promptness in judgments about money, and not to be ashamed to ask counsel in things too hard for them, inasmuch as Moshe himself, the Rabbi of Israel, had need to say, I have not yet heard. Therefore, said Moshe to them, Wait until I have heard what will be commanded from the Lord concerning your case. Jerusalem. This is one of 4 matters of judgment brought before Moshe, into of which Moshe was prompt, and into he was slower, concerning the unclean, who could not perform the Passover in its time, and concerning the daughters of Zelophehad was Moshe prompt, because the latter judgment was about money. But concerning the blasphemer who had reviled the sacred name, and the gatherer of wood who wickedly profaned the Sabbath, Moshe was deliberate, they being decisions involving life. And in them he said, I have not heard, that he might teach the judges who were to come after Moshe to be prompt in cases of mammon, but deliberate in those of life, and not to be ashamed to say, I have not heard, because Moshe, our Rabbi himself, said, I have not heard. Therefore spake he, Arise, and listen to what the word of the Lord will prescribe to you. And the Lord spoke with Moshe, saying, Speak with the sons of Israel, saying, A man, whether young or old, whether unclean by defilement from the dead, or an issue, or the leprosy, or who is hindered in the way of the world by the accidents of the night, or who shall be at a distance from the threshold of his house, and such things happen to you, if such things happen to you, or to your generations, then may he defer to perform the Pascha before the Lord. But in the 2nd month, which is the month of Adar, on the 14th day of that month, between the suns, they shall perform it. With unleavened bread and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. They shall not leave of it till the morning, and a bone in it shall not be broken, according to every instruction of the decree of the Pascha in Nisan. They shall perform it. In the Pascha of Nisan, such persons may eat unleavened bread, but not perform the oblation of the Pascha on account of their defilement. But in the Pascha of Adar, being purified, they shall offer it. But the man who, being clean and undefiled by the way of the world, and not at a distance from the threshold of his house, neglecteth to perform the oblation of the Pascha of Nisan, that man shall be cut off from his people. Because he has not offered the Lord's oblation in its season, that man shall bear his sin. And if the stranger who is sojourning with you will perform the Pascha before the Lord, he shall do it after the prompt manner of the Paschal decree, according to its form, so shall he do it. And you shall have one statute, both for the sojourner and for the native of the land. And on the day on which the tabernacle was reared, the cloud of glory covered the tabernacle. It overspread the tabernacle of testimony by day, and at evening it was over the tabernacle like a vision of fire until the morning. So was it continually, a cloud of glory covering it by day, and a vision of fire by night. And what time the cloud of glory was uplifted from the tabernacle, then the children of Israel went forward, and at the place where the cloud rested, there did the children of Israel rest. By the word of the Lord, by the mouth of the word of the Lord, the children of Israel went forward, and by the word of the Lord they rested. All the days that the cloud of glory abode upon the tabernacle, so long they did abide. And if the cloud tarried over the tabernacle many days, the children of Israel observed the watch of the word of the Lord, and did not proceed. But if the time of a number of days, suppose the 7 days of the week, the cloud of glory was upon the tabernacle, by the mouth of the word of the Lord they rested, and by the mouth of the word of the Lord they went forward. Or if the cloud of glory rested only from evening until morning, and was uplifted in the morning, then they went onward, whether by day or by night. When the cloud was lifted up, they went forward, whether it was 2 days or a month or a year complete, while the cloud of glory made stay over the tabernacle, abiding on it, the children of Israel abode and journeyed not. And at the time of its uplifting they went forward. By the mouth of the word of the Lord they encamped, and by it they journeyed. They kept the observance of the word of the Lord, by the mouth of the word of the Lord, through Moshe. Holy be his name.